Welcome to USMLE Sarthi. We are committed to empowering IMGs. We're excited to guide you on your match journey. Don't forget to click subscribe and turn on notifications so you can get notified whenever we add new content. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter for the latest tips and tricks regarding everything USMLE. Now, let's dive into it.
Most of programs will have orientation period. Please pay a lot of attention to the orientation, because this orientation is actually, you are required to observe how the system works. It's not the same even within the US. So every hospital is different. So pay attention what they are saying. Pay attention about hierarchy. The residents had their own hierarchy. The nurses had different one. So this is your opportunity to know how the workflow happening in the hospital. And during your orientation, you will be shadowing senior residents. So ask them, especially about your safety net. Who can you reach to? If you have a question, medical question, who you can ask. If you have an administrative question, who can you ask? If you want to escalate something, how to get that done. You also need to collect a couple of information about, pager numbers, phone numbers, all these things. You don't have to do everything at the beginning, but be vigilant for those. Whenever there is something, you will need it at some point. At some point, you will need help, and you don't have time to figure out how to get help. So please pay attention during the orientation time. Also, you need to use your communication skills wisely. So introduce yourself to everyone so they know you. Also, start learning everyone's name, because again, it's very important for communication, but also later on to facilitate the workflow. If you call someone by name, you actually match their face with their name, and it's easier to follow. So if you introduce yourself and call someone, the other person with name, you will, in no time, 1 month, 2 months, everyone in the hospital will know you. So even if something happened, they know how to reach you, they know who did that. And it's a very good communication thing. Regarding the medical knowledge, so far, like medical knowledge wise, steps are very good. It's actually will help you with the foundation, but the practical knowledge you don't have yet. Of course, some people have more experience if they did residency back home, but even though, you will find there is differences between the real practice. So the most important source will be actually your senior residents. Attendings, for sure, you can ask, but they are not available all the time. Don't afraid to ask your seniors. They are the one who want to help you. And again, this put us back to the safety net. So if you have a patient, if you have a problem, you have to ask. You cannot just go and try to figure out yourself, especially if it's time sensitive. Ask while you are figuring out yourself as well. Also, I have some resources. I'm going to share some links for some YouTube channels and also some podcasts. So YouTube channels, they actually go in deep in practical part about how to write a progression note, how to write a discharge note, how to admit a patient. So these things you don't know during your application process or USMLE preparation. So how to write a progression note efficiently, how to use the EMR, and also that you will be exposed to a whole different universe about billing, about how to actually list the patient problem and everything like that. So at least if you are oriented, you don't have to learn that before residency. But if you know that, you need to know that. So once it comes in front of you, so you can pick up on things faster than your peers, and it will make your life much easier. And actually to improve your medical knowledge as well, because you are not just governing the knowledge. No, you're actually taking care of the patient, creating a plan, executing the plan, and even follow up on the results. So it's a whole different area than just studying for the steps. So I think those are the tips I have.
What mistakes have you seen of the applicants? Because we will have a lot of students again apply this season. So now, thinking back as an applicant, what mistakes have you seen? What are your tips for applicants in the current, upcoming season?
Yeah. So as applicants, like more than mistakes, I think things what we miss to do is that we are more focused just on the exam part of it. Like taking the steps is all, many of us are like putting all our energy on, working on. It is important. I'm not saying it's not, but it's like also the part where Sarthi helps out a lot, Pawan sir and team, about the building the personal statement, building your CV, adding research publications, all these things, and learning to do how to do an interview, how to talk to people when you are in an interview, because this virtual interview has its benefits and limitations, but the way you speak in an interview on your Zoom is what they portray you as a person. So all these are like other holistic things which people who interview look for. So not to take these things easily. I think all these things are important to match. And some of us like focus on just the scores, and then we kind of get easy to work on this until closer to the application date. And that will become a bigger difficulty because personal statement is one of the very big thing which tells a lot about you and needs time to work on. And I think Sarthi team does a very good job in guiding on all these additional things in addition what we need to be doing. Telegram pages, they are actively talking about all these things. So I think, as Pawan sir and team will guide all of the candidates about this, but this is something we need to definitely pay attention to. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Anagha, I know you've been waiting very patiently, so you're on mute, but welcome. And why don't you introduce yourself? You have an extensive experience in India as well. And so introduce yourself and let's continue the same topic, tips for applicants, mistakes you have seen now as you review applications. And of course, neurology has become a lot more competitive. So how can students prepare such things?
So I'm Anagha, I'm an IMG and I'm from India. I finished my residency in India before moving to the US. I completed neurosurgery. I was working for 2 or 3 years and then I decided to move and apply to neurology. I think the most common mistake that I see, even in the questions, I see people who are saying that I can only do 2 rotations. I'm an old graduate. This journey is hard. And I think there are many applicants who will be as competitive as you, so you can't fall back anywhere. It is expensive, no doubt. So if you choose to do this, do it wholeheartedly. Otherwise, any half-hearted application is usually going to get filtered out. Neurology also requires pretty high scores. I think 230s to 240s are what we look for. Otherwise, applications might get filtered out. Overall, it's going to be challenging. I think that's what I'll say. There will be so many obstacles, so many things that you have to do when you get here, and you are going to be clueless. It's best if you have someone like joining Sarthi helped me in that sense, wherein I had someone to always voice out my questions to. Always find someone who you can reach out to for these small things and someone who's willing to help you out, because it's difficult to find out. Like here, you have to find out all the information on your own. There are no call centers. The HR department is remote, so it's not like you can just walk in. Like when I came in, they weren't accepting my son on my health insurance for almost a month because they said he needs an SSN or an ITIN, which is a tax number, and he is not eligible for that. So there are going to be unexpected challenges. So just be prepared, be mentally strong. Don't let them bring you down. I think that's about it.
Yeah, no. Thank you, Anagha. Your journey has been very, very inspiring, and especially change of specialty, coming here with your family. I know you've gone through a lot. So thank you very much for your tips.
My name is Zehdi. I come from the UAE, United Arab Emirates. I graduated from a city called Ras Al Khaimah over here and applied for 2 specialties in telemedicine and family medicine, and matched in family medicine at Western Michigan University. So my experience through the match season was really great. I had a total of 21 interviews. It was a lot of hustle, and I was also doing my home country residency here. So it was a lot of time to manage, a lot of effort to put.
So, Zehdi, what are your tips for applicants who are applying to multiple specialties like you did?
Yeah, my tip is to know, first of all, which specialties to apply to. You cannot combine any two if they're not related at all. For example, say neurosurgery and family medicine. This will not work. But first of all, you should apply to closely related specialties. For example, I chose internal family. They have a lot of overlap. Maybe pediatrics and family would work. Obstetrics, gynecology, and family medicine would work. So some certain combination that will help you build a CV that will please both sides, because you cannot bring a CV that will please both a neurosurgeon and will please an internist. So having two closely related specialties, something to start with. Then the LORs that you get. I applied with 3 internal LORs and 1 family LOR. And the good thing about the LORs that you can assign different LORs to different programs. So I had many LORs for the family medicine programs. I assigned my 1 family medicine LOR from a family medicine rotation and 3 LORs from internal rotation or subspecialties, but they're recommending me for family medicine. So not only I'm asking for a family medicine rotation LOR, but also an internal rotation that recommends me for a family medicine residency. So if you're planning to apply for 2 specialties, when you do your rotations, you ask for LORs. You can ask for 2 specialty LORs, 1 for internal, 1 for family, for example. Other thing is to have good interview skills, because you should be careful during your interviews. For example, you don't want to mention in the family medicine interview that you want a subspecialty like cardiology, which will not happen after family medicine. You should study both specialties well, know your options, know your choices, know what you can do in both, know the structure, know what these like and what these don't like. For example, family medicine, many of them are community oriented. They want to hear about community engagement activities, dedication to the community, and some other things that you need to work on. For internal, maybe they like more of research, more of subspecialty rotations, pulmonology, cardiology, and so on.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope that video provided valuable insights for your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And check out our website for details on how we can guide you to a successful match.